Okay, hello and welcome to the Lags Invitational pregame show. This is championship edition of the Lags Invitational pregame show, and we'd like to wish you all a belated but very Merry Christmas to all of our subscribers and YouTube followers. All right, on to tonight's show. We do have a lot of stuff for you. We'd like to start off with our show sponsor like usual. Tonight's show sponsor is Fat Phil's Weight Loss and Health Emporium. Thank you, Fat Phil, for your contributions to the show. And no, this shirt is not a gift from Fat Phil's. This was given to me by a buddy who apparently still sees me as a sexy boy's medium for whatever case, and that is the size he got me. If you're watching this video, I guess that means that I did not pass out and die from the circulation of blood being cut off from my body. But if at any point I don't show up for league, that this shirt could be the reason why. So please send 911, okay? Okay, our second item of business, our product showcase tonight is the Storm Absolute. I'm going to put the picture of it over here, I guess, for the Storm Absolute. It is a great looking new ball. It features a brand new shell and a brand new core. It is the R2S Deep Hybrid cover stock, which is interesting in itself. And then, of course, it has a new Sentinel core. The new Sentinel core, 248 RG and an 050 differential. This core is designed much like the Omega Crux's core to not be affected as much by drilling and have the overall numbers stay very close after drilling, as opposed to the balls that are affected with a big thumb hole in the side, reducing the differential. This ball should be able to keep most of this differential even after being drilled for a traditional bowler. The intermediate diff, as I mentioned, was 021. Pretty high intermediate diff, pretty strong core, and a mildly medium strength cover stock. Should be an interesting matchup. This ball is available in January. I believe January 20th is the release date, and that is your Storm Absolute, the product showcase for this evening. Okay, running down right into these items. First of all, a recap of last week. We'll start with the feature match, which was a bit of a dud in the sense that Carl DeRosa Sr., the GM, did not bowl. He chose to get a sub and kind of ruined some of my fun, but that's okay. We did the best we could anyway. I do have some clips from the match. I didn't get any really footage of the match. It was a bit of a shit show down our end as well, so I do have a couple of clips, but we'll see if we can add those into the program as we go. But as far as the match, We Them Boys, Stevie Charnier and company, they did win the match 3-1, 33-16, 33-01. Pretty interesting match, and it was a very close match. They only won the first game. Our Charnier's team lost by 5 in the first game. They came back to win the next 2 games and only won total by a total of 15 pins. So very close matches. I think the second game was also 5 points, and the final game was 15 point total. So very close, obviously. Very interesting matchup. To lead the team, Stevie Charnier went 706 for his team. Ryan McLaughlin went 622. Jared Nimblett 633, and they had a blind score as their 5th score, and yet still won. Of course, their anchor ball at Q, with ours, remember, 731 to pace the attack. On the other side, without Carl Sr., Jalen Scott Jones was a sub, 735 for him. Carl Jr. bowled very well, 737 for him in the losing effort. Steve DeRosa with 199 average, he shot 604. Rick Rigo only 191 average, he shot 608, so did himself a favor. Their sub, Billy Trudell, unfortunately could not get it going, only managed 617, and they lose a very close 15-point total, 3-1, and We Them Boys vault up there, and they are now taking on the leaders this week for the championship, and we'll get to that in a minute. But the stars of the week for week 17, Nate Abdow, who, as I mentioned before, did get off a little bit of a slow start, 791 this week. Steve Gardner 773, Alex Carden 767, Bill Tessier 763 this week, and Paul Stepney 751. So a couple of hanger-wankers in there for the first time this season, and I believe they did win, but they are way down in the standings. But Good to see those guys getting it going. As far as your high average chase, currently Bill Tessier has now taken over the lead, 242.37. He leads just above John Van Hees, who's 240.75. And now in third place is Tim Gagne, 237.15. He had a big week, big enough to catch Tim Healy and send him down out of the top 3. Now, as for our singles handicap and singles scratch league, my voice is getting a little dry, and it could be the lack of oxygen to my brain because the shirt is cutting off my circulation, as I mentioned. But the singles scratch league, your leader is now Bill Tessier, 86 points for him. Ray Snow is 2 points back, 84 points for him. In third, Jimmy Savasta, 78. Tim Healy's at 77, that's fourth. And fifth place is a 3-way tie currently. Carl Rosa Jr., Bill LaPointe, and Greg White, all at 74 points. That's your fifth place spot for the single scratch. Okay. In 10th place in the single scratch, 72 points. So just 2 points out of the top 5, and you're in 10th place, and you're fighting for your cash life, as they say. So that's your single scratch standings. In the singles handicap, our leader again this week, Ryan Nelson, holding on to the lead. He has 83 points for him. Dennis Levely Jr., 80 points. He's 3 points back of the leader. David Lewis Jr. is 77 points, and he is tied with Darren Love, who is also got 77 points. And in 5th place, Steve Chartier, 76 points. Our leader there for a little while. He is still hanging on 7 points out of the lead. Obviously, we're just halfway through the league, so a long way to go. 35th place is your final cash spot, and that is currently 60 points. 23 points off the lead, and 16 points out of 5th is at 35th spot. Okay, our current standings for championship weeks. This is it. This is the final week of the half. The winners get the glory, and the losers get another half to try to mend their ways. In the first place spot this week again, Fill in the Frames. They've been there for a while. They've been up the standings for most of the first half, but they have been in the lead for a while. They are currently 47-21. They went 3-1 last week, and that helped them stay afloat and ahead. They are just ahead, 1.5 points ahead of We Them Boys, who also went 3-1, as we mentioned in the feature match. That's a team that's been very red hot. They're tough. Obviously, they won last week with a blind bowler, some very timely bowling by all their players. That should be an interesting match. Those guys have bowled on 39 and 40 tonight, I believe, and that is for the championship because Accu Electric LLC is 3.5 games behind the leader, and they're 2 games behind second place. So, unfortunately for Accu Electric, even a 4-0 win and a split by the leaders will not get them a first place win. So, it is just a 2-team lead. Accu Electric is 43.5 and 24.5. They went 4-0 last week, and they are obviously the biggest scoring team right now in the league. They have been blasting people, 34 something again this week, and they went 4-0. But they are taking on Purple Hearts in the 3rd-4th matchup. Purple Hearts went 0-4 last week. They are 41-27. They're 2.5 games behind, so they're going to need a 4-0 match to take over 3rd place in that match. But it should be an interesting matchup with Purple Hearts because they have been very up and very down, and when they're up, they are very tough to beat. So it should be good. Those guys are obviously on 1 and 2. On 3 and 4, your 5th place team, Chico's Bail Bonds, they went 0-4 last week as well. Dropped down the standing. They are 41-27, tied with Purple Hearts technically for the 4th place spot. They'll be taking on Half Baked, who is 40-28. They went 4-0 last week to climb up to that spot, and now they have a chance to move up even a couple of places and maybe even get to 4th place. That's Half Baked. All right. In our feature match this week, obviously, it's 1st versus 2nd. Fill in the Frames versus We Them Boys. Okay, as for the lineups for the feature match, for Fill in the Frames, who has a 1.5 game lead, obviously they just need to win 2 points, and they can win the league first half title. For them, it's Rob Sy, 209, Justin Enos, 198, David Lewis Jr., 219, Marty Jones, 200, and their anchor bowler, Darren Love, 221. Obviously, a very solid team. They've had very consistent weeks over the past few. They'll be very tough. Taking them on, We Them Boys, who has obviously been a great story all year. Those guys are led by Ryan McLaughlin, 206, Steve Chartier, 204, Jared Niblett at 210, Jacob Williams at 192, and Quadaris Rembert, 235. That's the lineup for We Them Boys. Again, We Them Boys need to win 3 points. They need to go 3-1 in the match to win the league by a half a point, where Phil in the Frames only just needs to win 2, and they have a 1.5 point lead. Our prediction here in this show, it's tough. It's tough to say. It's tough to see a team that's been up there a while not hold it off in the final week. My guess is Marty Jones's team will bowl well. I think they're going to bring their best tonight. But I think We Them Boys is going to shock them. I think it's going to be a 3-1 victory for We Them Boys, winning the last game by just enough to win total. It'll be a 1-1 match after 2. We Them Boys will capture game 3 and win the league by just a little bit, and they'll win the first half by a half a point, and we'll have to deal with Phil in the Frames again for the second half. I'm sure that lineup will cause some problems again. So yeah, our prediction, We Them Boys takes home the first half title tonight in a squeaker, in a nail biter, and we'll be down the other end. So I don't know if we'll be able to see much footage, but we'll try to get you some footage. But if you get a chance, go down there and check it out, 39-40, the championship match for this week to take home the first half title. Okay, we got a number of items in our grab bag of randomness tonight. The first one is kind of not a joke around kind of thing, it's kind of a serious. I know I do a lot of dry humor, and sometimes I say some things that are crazy, but this is actually an interesting idea that I kind of came up with. I wish that someone would take on the project of running or developing a Langs Invitational bowling history. This league has been around for a very long time. I don't know exactly how long. But it is the premier league in the state now. It is the largest league in the state, 200 bowlers strong, a full house of 40 teams of 5. That's a pretty impressive thing, and it does have a very long and rich history. It would be great if we could find out things like how long the league has been intact, how did it get started, who are the winners, who in the league has won the title. I know. We're very fortunate as being a team that's captured a league title. I know that the Fluffy Unicorns, they're pretty fond of telling you how many times they've won the title. There's a few other teams that have won the title in the past, I'm sure. Maybe somebody should sit down and write the history of the league. I think that'd be pretty cool to hear about, especially since some of the guys who have been in the league a long time, you're not always going to be here to tell us the stories. So. It'd be great if somebody could write down that history and maybe do something with a Langs Invitational history of the league. Okay, that's my first item. My second item, the women's championship results. Obviously, last week, a very good showing for Courtney Parento. That's Fran Barron's daughter. She's married now, obviously. Been married for a while. Great bowler. She's been away for a little while, I guess, but is back in town. Bowled great. She won the Scratch Open division, and I believe Megan Favre won the other division. Very good bowling by the ladies. The event was pretty well attended, which was nice to see. Hopefully in the future we can get more entries for that event, as I think that there are plenty of women bowlers out there who would like to be competitive, and there was a lot of names that we saw on there that we see every year, and there were some new names, so it was good to see. Hopefully we can continue seeing that event grow. Okay, so that's your women's championship results from last weekend. I promise you we'd get you some results. Last item on our list of grab bag of randomness is our RTR schedule. I did want to let you know that January 7th is the doubles here at Langs. We are completely full. We have 40 full teams on the roster. We have several teams on the waiting list already as well. My guess is we'll probably get most, if not all, those teams on the waiting list in, as we always have no shows and last-minute cancellations. But if you're interested in being put on the waiting list, please let me know. We can do that for you. Okay? Secondly, January 21st is the Rhode Island Team Challenge, and that will be at East Providence Lanes. We already have 9 teams signed up, and I believe probably about 16 probably would be the limit. There's 5 guys to a pair, so 16 teams would be 32 lanes. I'm not sure how many more lanes we could get in East Providence that weekend, but just so you know, January 21st, 10 a.m. will begin the Renown Team Challenge. This year it will be a 1-day event. In the future, we do plan on having it be a 2-day event, perhaps with a finals. Finals on Sunday. If you're interested in signing up for the January 21st Renown Team Challenge, please let me know. The event is $300 per team. It is on a sport pattern, which we use the 2022 USBC Open Championship team pattern for that event. And the plan is to eventually go forward with using the previous year's Open Championship team pattern as the competition pattern for our event. Also, you should know that the event is completely scratch. You can put any 5 bowls on the team you like, but there is no handicap, so please keep that in mind. And we hope you bring a team that is fun as well as competitive. It should be very interesting. Like I said, we do have 9 teams already signed up. Hopefully we get all of those teams and we get a few more. I would love to see it be 12 to 14 teams. That'd be great. Lastly, our last item on this list, Rippin' the Rack is planning a trip to Rutland, Vermont, March 18th and 19th. That's going to be the Rutland weekend. We have not looked into how many rooms are available or anything like that, or how much space is available in the tournament. Generally, the tournament does not sell out that weekend. We're not expecting it to be a super busy weekend. I am going to call and make sure that we will have room with Tom Smirsky, whatever his name is, there from Rutland. Very nice guy. He usually takes good care of us. So we'll call probably the next couple of weeks. But if you're interested in joining us, just get a team together, get a doubles team, or come by yourself, and come down bowl. We'll be there on Saturday and Sunday. Some of us are actually coming up on Friday night. I'm going to bowl Friday night, so if you're interested, contact me. I'll let you know who's planning on being there. I know I'm at least planning on bowling 2 team sets, maybe 3, and I'd like to do some doubles and singles as well. So hopefully my hand doesn't fall off, and hopefully by then this shirt fits me. Well, that's not going to happen. But no, hopefully that'll be a fun weekend. It usually is. Rutland is a great place to be. It's a great tournament. It's a great tournament for whether you want to be competitive or you want to be, just have a good time. It's also an event you can bring your significant others with you. You bring your kids. It's a family-friendly place. It's a good place to be. There is some adult shenanigans going on with many of the people, so just be cognizant of that and be prepared for craziness, because sometimes craziness breaks out. All right, so that's all we have for our grab bag of randomness. I want to thank all of our sponsors, as well as our supporters and our subscribers. Thank you, YouTubers. Thank you for our likes. Thank you for the subscriptions and all that stuff. Thank you to Custom Pro Fit. I got a brand new sweatshirt this week. I didn't bring it with me to show you because I was trying to get the shirt ready to wear. I had to stretch it out a little bit to get it on my body. So next week I'll show you the great new Custom Pro Fit sweatshirts we got in. So thank you to Custom Pro Fit. Thank you to Lang's Bowlorama. Thank you to the Nelson Center. Thank you Bowlify. Thank you Storm, 3G Shoes, 900 Global, and Roto Grip. Let's see, who else? TournamentBowl.com and Bowlage.com. Bowlage.com did create a brand new flyer for our Renown Team Challenge, and I forgot to mention this. I'll probably stick that in the video here at some point, so you get a chance to see our brand new flyer for the Renown Team Challenge. It looks amazing. It's a lot better job than I could have ever done. So we appreciate their help on that, and they're going to help us try to promote that event. And hopefully we can fill the field. Like I said, if we can get 16 teams, that would be fantastic. I was hoping for 12 to 14, so anything above that is great. Also want to thank Jim Handy, who agreed to do all the side action for the Renown Team Challenge on the 21st as well. Jim's going to run lots of stuff for us, and we are going to have single sweepers and double sweepers during that event as well, for those of you interested in that stuff. So bring your money. Again, $300 per team, plus it's probably $20 for doubles and $20 for singles. So, $100 you can get in all kinds of stuff and have a good time. Okay? And finally, good luck to those teams competing tonight for a championship. I know it's an exciting time for you, and hopefully next half we can talk about Rippin' the Rack being in the standings or in the hunt for a title. Until then, Good luck, bowl well, enjoy your competition with your friends, and we'll see you guys on the other side. Good night. How's it going, Ryan?
It's going.
Up, down?
We lost by 5.
You lost to those fucking pricks by 5?
5 fucking pins.
All
That's
right.
right. We're on to come up now.
We're about to come up now? All right. What happened?
Nothing.
Well, are you guys cheating?
No.
Well, you won. You must be cheating.
Thank you.
Are they cheating?
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I was in the kitchen, bro. What was the
Where were you?
difference on that?
Where were you?
I don't know.
Wait, I'm sorry. Where were you?
He's bleeding. He's bleeding.
You're bleeding. And where were you?
Bloody sock.
You were in the kitchen?
I'm not bowling.
Why are you not bowling?
He's tired.
What? What? He's got what? He's got 2 feet. I see 2 feet.
He's got plantar fasciitis.
I think it's BS. You can't bowl from the kitchen. You're gonna be out here.
I said Merry Christmas to 200 guys. I helped them cook. I helped her in the bar. Now I'm done.
Done?
Done.
We'll see.